I'm Stuart Thompson, editor of Digital TV Europe. I'm here with Katrine Vogelsand, who's head of fiction at TV2 Denmark. Katrine, public broadcasters are obviously facing a range of challenges now with streaming and so forth. What do you see as the main challenges that they face, given the evolution of the way people watch TV?
I think formerly it was quite easy to, or not easy, but it was easier to get a lot of people to watch the same. So you can actually put the topic of the day on the public service broadcasters. And today, since we have so many opportunities as a viewer, then it's much more difficult to get the information out to the public, which is kind of the main service you have to do. So it's very, very difficult now to get together a lot of people and kind of give them the same amount of information. And that's a struggle for democracy, I think, on a really high level, because you don't have the opportunities anymore to get the knowledge out to the civil or the public.
Yeah. Now I know that TV2 has deployed a range of different finance models, and finance is obviously one of the challenges that public broadcasters face. Can you tell me a little bit about the things that TV2 has done and how its finance model has changed?
Yeah, we start as getting public money from the government, and then we were an advertised funded public service broadcaster for a couple of years, and now it's a combination of license fee and commercial, and on top of that we have our digital business, who is kind of the one who is, when the other industry is going down, then the digital is bringing in enough money so we can keep up the same amount of content.
Great. Now you're responsible for fiction broadcasting, or fiction content rather. Obviously the streaming revolution has expanded the range of fiction available. Can you tell me a little bit about how that streaming explosion has impacted the way that you acquire and commission fiction content?
First of all, it's the most fun part to being. I think it's sport and fiction, because that's the thing who works. So if I was in lifestyle, I would change industry now, because I think all the middle range programming or the daytime feeling, it's going away. So in that sense, I have a lot more to do, which is nice for sure. The other part is it's much more demanding to make a big, broad show, since there's so much good fiction content in the world at the moment. So you really have to be much more precise in what you're choosing to get the audience you wanted, because otherwise they'll choose something else.
Yeah. And distribution used to be fairly straightforward for public service broadcasters. It was over the air or it was cable. Now it's becoming much more complicated because of multi-screen viewing. Can you tell me a little bit about how the distribution strategy has changed?
Yeah, at the moment it varies from the target group. For the more my age and older people from the last millennium, we can still do a big event premiere on a drama show. But for the younger audience, we need to have them on board much earlier. So reaching out for, we want your stories, we want your talent, we want all. Getting them involved in the process is what we're working on at the moment, trying to do that better. I think if you look at Norway, who did Skam, I think they are kind of the best in class to do that at the moment. So we need to find, in my opinion, another way of doing it, but reaching more out instead of just keeping all the knowledge for ourselves, but trying to get the viewers feel engaged in it. And not real engaged, not something we're just saying and not doing, but actually try to engage them.
Yeah. Now we're here at Video Exchange Streaming. Can you tell me a little bit about the sort of message you're conveying here, why you're here, what you're going to talk about?
I think one of the things I'm very focused on is that now there's a lot more data we can use, but it doesn't give us better stories. So how do we use data in a clever way, knowing more about our audience, but not trying to design what they're talking about they want, because often they are not actually wanting that. They want something they are not knowing what is. So keep on being very bold in the way you're choosing stuff. That's one thing I'm very focused on. And the other is the way we change the storytelling. When we have theater in old days and the feature film was 90 minutes, it was the amount for candlelight to kind of burn down that set the 90 minutes. And therefore we involve the storytelling in 90 minutes. It's not about storytelling, it's more about practical issues.
Yeah.
And I think that's happening again today now, since we have so many opportunities, and gaming is a big part, especially for the younger boys. It changed the way we have to tell stories, because it's a different way you can do it now. And that's another big issue, that the format is kind of moving away. So what is actually possible? What feeling can you tell in 15 minutes? What feeling can you tell in 40 minutes and stuff like that? That's what I'm very much into as well.
The whole digital world is changing the way content is
Yeah,
actually
the way we tell story.
Yeah.
Started with the Bible, and then feature film came in 2,000 years earlier, and now we are going into the next kind of how to tell stories. And that's interesting and very scary, because how to do that.
how to reinvent storytelling completely.
Yeah.
So what's your impression of this event so far? What have you enjoyed, and what do you think you can get out of events like this?
Oh, that's a tricky question, because my flight was late out of Copenhagen. So I just came here for lunch, and it was good.
Okay, great.
But in general, I think it's since we have to involve very fast, I think, to get the knowledge together as much as we can. I think it's very important for the whole industry. So this event is important.
Katrine, thanks very much.
Welcome.